What a day! Another day. I went and I was on time, which is a miracle in itself. And it was amazing. It was amazing. The first thing when I walked in, I asked the receptionist. She said, "There's nothing on the computer about my appointment today." And I thought, okay, here we go. So I pulled out the letter from whatever, which they gave me to sign at the court yesterday. And I realized nobody from their side has signed it. And she's telling me it's not on the computer.
Well, obviously not, because they can't put it together. So when the two judges who were in court, were they not there?
No, well, one of them was there. She's telling me that nobody is in. None of them are in. So I thought, okay, she gave me a name of another person, because the one who supposedly, they gave me this paper and none of them signed it. Debbie Palmer's name is on it, but it's not signed by her. It's got my signature, which is signed, I said, signed under duress. I have received no order. So, this now receptionist actually gave me a note paper with an address in Hackney.
You're kidding me.
Which is 100 miles, and she wrote it all on the paper.
Yeah.
And then I said to her, it can't be blah blah blah. And after some time, she found Debbie Palmer. So I went through the procedures with Debbie Palmer. Oh no, she didn't find Debbie Palmer. Oh, where is my book? She found some. She said, my person is not Debbie Palmer. It's I better give. I'm videoing this conversation, yeah, because so I can give it to a lot of people without repeating myself. She said, "Oh, my new person is Sonia Odoi." So I waited around for this Sonia, and she did turn up. Lovely lady. She looked a bit tired, but she was a nice Afro-Caribbean lady, and looks like she has a good spirit. And I went in the meeting with her and started and spent a few minutes. Then Debbie Palmer turns up from nowhere and said she's the person I must deal with. So it turns up halfway through. I switched. So yeah. So I carried on with this Debbie Palmer, and I thought, I'm gonna do the forms, I'm gonna cooperate, because I got guys with weapons and prison cells compelling me to do. So that's where we are in this country at the moment.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, the receptionist gave me a note with the address and everything and phone number of a Viola Dublin and the address in Hackney. So I was gonna jump in my car and race down to Hackney. And then she assured me there was nothing on the computer. So I asked her to put the note on a compliment slip or letterhead. She said they don't have any such that thing in the probation office, which is a lie, because I have other things on compliment slips signed by them before. So receptionist is, I don't know, either stupid or she's in on the act, or, and it's the same receptionist as well. It's not like she was a new girl. So here we have, in the meeting, I said to her, look, Debbie Palmer, I got nothing against you in person whatsoever. You're just a lady doing your job, like most other people in this world. So I am fighting for my justice and to restore my property, and I have to do what I do to get legal, result for myself. So nothing to do with you. So I tried to put her at ease. So anyway, she's going through some, oh shit, she didn't give me the forms, yeah? I filled the forms, and I said I needed a copy of the forms for my appeal, yeah? because I'm going to put on the form that I'm signing it under duress. And I am not a convict, and there is no evidence to convict me, and I have supplied you with whatever evidence that I can't be guilty under any law. So she carried on and filled the forms, and she said, agreed with me, she's going to give me copies to take away. But she said it will take some time. How long does it take to make photocopies, you know? She has to get permission of her boss. God knows why. So, anyway, she... I'm getting stuck for words because it's been videoed. Monday. She now don't want... Oh, there's more paper here, sorry. Yeah, there's a bit more here. I thought she held some back more than what she did. Okay, so we had to fill out various forms. So on the forms, I put in whatever. They say, what's your address? I said, my address is 180 Churchill Road. I've been deprived of my home under the Protection from Eviction Act, and I've given you evidence, and I'm working to get it back. So I'm a deprived tenant from 180 Churchill Road. And they go, where is your address? Where do your other address? I said, well, I stay with friends and family, blah, blah, blah. I gave them an alternative address if they wanted it for post and whatever. So I'm trying to cooperate. So they went through the form and they ask you some ridiculous questions. But let's say she didn't make the form. And they want to know my doctor's details and the usual lot of things. Because one of the things is that what's it got to do with your medical records? Yeah. So I'm waffling a bit. Anyway, I'm gonna come to the end of the form bit. But she went away to make copies. I signed it. I wanted to put there how I signed. Here is one. You get this on the video. Is it filling the screen down here? I'm interested in down here. I said I'm signing it. I'll read it now. Signed under duress. I was not given a sealed court order and believe one does not exist. Yeah?
Yeah.
And every page I signed, I pretty much did the same thing. And then equalities questionnaire, I don't know all that good. But the form now want to do their work. Now
Yeah.
I asked her to sign it with me when I'm there. She refused.
Oh.
She refused to sign it in my presence. And then she was quite happy right in front of me to go and edit the forms that I've already signed. Right in front of me, and I'm saying to her, oh, it's not proper to alter the forms after I've signed it. She said, oh, but I have to fill in the information. Amazing. It's become normal to them to do forgery. Or she could even ask me to edit it and ask me to initial it. But she's not supposed to put a dot on the form without, you know, after I've signed it. So after that, she went to do her copy and she took a long time. While she was doing her copy, I went back to the receptionist, being very conscious of my own time. I need to get on with some work and to earn a living, being in court all day and spend all week preparing for court. I asked the receptionist, oh, Devi Palmer gave me another thing about Hackney probation and said it's not in Hackney, it's here, and the lady sometimes is in Hackney, but when she needs to see me she comes here, and if I have a problem I should call this number And she gave it to me on this little scrap of paper here. This is the probation that is prepared to send you to jail for every drop of a hat.
Yeah.
I said to her, okay, is there a fax number or email? Because sometimes these answer phone things don't work, or that, you know, have an alternative.
Yeah.
She said, no, that's it. I said, what's their address? You give me a person in Hackney probation and a phone number. I need proper correspondence details. What if she said, that's all you're getting. That's all we have. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, that's fine, but can I have it on a proper note paper, please? Either a compliment slip or something proper, because if I go to Hackney or whatever, and it's the wrong thing, I just need something proper. No, we don't have note paper, we can't do it. No, we can't, that's it, So, anyway, after she gave me the photocopies back, which she wouldn't sign the papers in front of me, so after I signed my side, she went away in a back room to sign her side. I'm going to show you what she signed. This is, you don't believe, this is great British justice.
Well, I do believe it, sadly.
But where is first thing, the compliance with I won't go into that because nobody signed it, so let's say this form, this form here, I said I sign on the protest and I put VC. So somebody's phone. But if you do this video down here, you see this form here, I said under protest Anthony Badaloo whatever, and then it doesn't have my name there. That's good. Signature of the instructions issued by, she put a tiny little DP, her name is Devi Palmer, tiny little DP and the date next to it, and where it says name, it's blank. Yeah? And then she says original work instruction letter given to Anthony Badaloo by Harrow Crown Court. Now Harrow Crown Court gave me this thing, it had nothing from Harrow on it, it's a plain white paper, it's not signed by anybody. So it's not a legal piece of paper. So I put there, signed under duress, no seal or court order received, and I believe that none exist. And signed my name there big, because I want it for my appeal, as I told her. But I can't appeal if I don't have any order to appeal.
Well, yeah, there's a way to go. You could deal with that.
No, I know, but the proper way, I shouldn't be making adjustments for. Then the next one she gave me, again, a second document. What's this one called? Community compact, whatever it is. It's a threat of if you don't do this and that, you get some kind of extra punishment. They seem to be like punishment, bearing in mind most of the people they're dealing with, they got mental health issues and they can't possibly comply with these little finicky things.
Yeah.
So here, this one, I sign again on the protest. She signed offending manager DP, tiny little thing, that's not a signature, yeah, that's a squiggle. So I then, after she photocopied it and gave it to me, I said to her, oh, it looks like you forgot to sign some of it or to print your name. Look at this one again, that's another one. This one is called compliance rules. She signed here PP, tiny DP or PP there. You can't call that a signature. And where it says your name, it's blank. So I said to her, look, Devi, because I'm going to take it to appeal and I need the documents to be good as possible, would you be kind enough to write your name there? Here again, Deborah, another one. There's about 4 or 5 different documents and every single one is the same. She refused to put her name down. and she puts a little DP that is not a signature. It's got no binding law. That is just
No.
not law.
No.
So this is what we have here in this country going on. And so she goes on. I said to her, okay, David, please, I really need these things signed. Because if I take it into court, they're going to say, where did I get these papers? It's not going to be good. It won't stand up. She said, that's it, that's it. Or if you don't want to go, she picked the paper and she's going. She said, you're going to be a breach. Yeah? So I thought, okay, what do I do? Do I call 999 and say she's giving me documents which is, inauthentic, and she's trying to affect my liberty under Article 8 of the European Convention of Human Rights. But I thought the police is going to do nothing. They're going to say it's a civil matter.
Yeah.
That's all I hear from the police these days, civil matter. The most gruesome crimes, and in the criminal court, things are going on in the criminal court, and they say it's a civil matter. It's unbelievable. Anyway, I spoke to a couple of people on the phone, decided to call 999 or not, and the consensus was, just get on with it for now. You have enough drama, and I got a day's work to do. I'm going to Manchester, and so leave it now. Do a crime report or talk to the police about it another day. But do you believe a crime's been committed there, Caroline?
Which crime would you think that is, Anthony?
Forgery, for number one. Yeah? Number two,
Forgery.
well, she was altering the document after I signed it.
Well, that's not exactly forgery, is it?
What is it? It comes under the Forgery and Counterfeiting Act, 1981. The tampering with documents.
Well, tampering with documents is not the same as forgery.
Okay, let's not get technical, but you know what I mean, the tampering.
How could you talk to me a lot and then ask me not to get technical?
It's tampering, yeah? It's a crime. Whatever it is, it's a criminal act. That's how I interpret. That's my belief. You are making something that is just unbelievable. Imagine if it was, I had £10,000 on there and she puts another zero.
Yeah, then she'd have to initial it to say that she changed it, and then you'd have
Yeah,
to
but
initial
it changes
to
the
agree with
material
the
fact.
change.
It changes the material fact from 10,000 to 100,000.
Yes.
And there is no agreement or contract or nothing. You can't tamper with anything after the event. That is, to me, that's...
After it's been signed?
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Unless you
technically.
countersign it to say... But she never asked me to countersign anything. And she won't put her name down anywhere it's required.
Yeah.
That means she has no intention to be bound by her work
Yeah.
or to be held accountable.
Okay.
So, this is the... then she gives me something she says is a community order. Yeah? I asked her again about the order. She said, you are in the court, you heard what the judge said. All I heard the judge said, I asked him about 50 times to give me a copy of the order of what he made for the conviction.
Yeah.
And he never gave me a straight answer once. And he never gave me the order. So this thing says community order is not the order of conviction. That's the deception they want to carry out.
Yeah.
I am supposed to have an order of conviction, and the community service would be a part of the terms. Yeah?
Yeah.
And at the end of it, it has somebody called Sheila Thakra. There's no signature, there's no court stamp on this document. No court stamp at all whatsoever. And they couldn't find anything for nearly 3 months, 4 months. And to my understanding, a court order has to be made up within 7 days. There is something else. There is... but this is what I've endured. I sat in the car park for a while thinking, call 999 or not. You know? Because this is, by the way, this is the statement of Bhavesh Karya that she submitted to court to try and convict me.
Yeah.
No signatures whatsoever. Nothing signed.
Yeah.
Like
I
I've
wonder
been.
how much that pantomime cost yesterday. I was so furious.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
What an absolute pantomime.
And then this is the document that the same man
Pantomime.
presented. His boss told me he signed it yesterday. The same one. Signed on the 18th of January. So he didn't. It's a forgery. He signed it. He pretended to sign it on the 18th when it wasn't. And he admitted in court. I said, Mr. Carrier, you're under penalty of perjury. Are you accountable? And I wrote to them and I said, you can highlight this. For the avoidance of perjury, I need you to sign anything on witness what you're going to submit in court. And they haven't done it. It was a little document. Come in.
Sorry.
There was another document you might find interesting. There's a document we discovered recently. You're going to be shocked, but I won't tell you about it now.
Okay.
Yeah, they're coming up with all these papers, yeah, that they're just bogus papers. Here is another one. I got notice of a fine, yeah? So it's looking like it's got authority. In fact, it's a shambles. It's got a case number there. It says in the Crown Court. Doesn't say the Harrow Crown Court. It'll be any Crown Court. Defendant Anthony Badaloo, blah blah blah, and then it says all these things about I've been fined, yeah. But then it has no signature and no name. It's got a little computer squiggle. If you want money from me, anybody watching this or listening, if you want money from me, you send me a proper itemized bill, signed by the person entitled to claim the money from me, and who is accountable for any fraud and forgery from this false claim. That is how you run a business. These people are working in the Crown Service and claim to be. They're all little corporations set up around each other, shifting contracts and money sideways and milking the public who's paying for all this. It's just a little mechanism to extract money from the public. Basically to enslave the masses. That's all it is. It's an excuse to extract money. And by not signing anything, they're not liable. That's the new scam. Don't sign it and get money. Wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Myra, I'm going to send you a bill. I won't sign it in case it's a false bill and you find out.
Correct.
Nothing you can do. But in
Correct.
case you didn't notice or you get scared or you decide to pay, I'm quizzing. All these Nigerian scams are stupid. This is the proper English scam. English scam. Gentleman's theft. No one can hold you accountable.
Deborah's loving it.
That motor's with you. Who's that with you?
Oh, I got my secretary and a colleague here with me.
Okay.
I don't think he wants to come on the video, so I'm not saying his name.
You said it already.
And then they have here, this thing says, this is my printout from the court computer records, yeah, which I paid money. And when you do something proper in the court, you always have to pay money, or you get a fee remission. And when you pay money, you get a
Receipt.
bloody receipt from the court. So if somebody don't have a receipt for an action in the court, they are fraudster. So look, this is my criminal record of the computer. I have a clean bill of health according to the computer records. There is no order of conviction. There is an out-of-date traffic offense in the Waltham Forest Magistrates Court, and that's it on my name. So I don't have an order of a court. There's nothing on the computer record. There was no evidence to convict me. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have a conviction. And nobody can tell me otherwise until they show me the order. And here again, they have a summons that they sent. If we look at this now, it says blah blah blah, I must appear for breaching an order failed to do this, and which is all lies and nonsense, yeah? Pure nonsense. But at the bottom it says circuit judge, and it has a bloody little squiggle there. No name, no court stamp, anybody could trump that up. Yeah? If I want to sue the man who make this false order on me, where do I go? Who is it? Who is he? Who is she? Yeah? And there is no court seal, no nothing. This is a piece of, you know, below the grade of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So this is what we're getting in this country. But that's the latest scam, not signing things and you know, doing fraud. So let's look at the County Court Act 1984. I talk about this a lot, and it's a good time to see the face of it. Yeah? It's like you always hear a woman's voice on the phone, and for the first time you're gonna see her face. Like an internet dating thing, you know. Not that I've tried it, but that's the way. So it says here, penalty for falsely pretending to act under the authority of court. Yeah? Any person who delivers or caused to be delivered to any other person any paper falsely purporting to be a copy of any summons or other process of a county court, knowing it to be false, or acts or professes to act under any false color or pretense of the process of authority of a county court, shall be guilty of an offense, and shall for each offense, not one, each, be liable on conviction on indictment to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 7 years. So it's 7 years per count. That's why yesterday when I said to Judge Greenwood, Your Honor, I really am I'm pleading with you. I want you to give me a copy of the order under the County Court Act 1984, Section 135. You know, he says, I've made the order in open court. And if a paper comes out of the court, it's an order. And I give you a paper, and if you want to stamp, you can stamp till you die. That's what the judge said. He's not giving a straight answer. He can say, Mr. Badaloo, the paper from the court is adequate, it's good enough. You don't need a stamp. But if you're insisting on a stamp, we can let you have one, or it's not necessary, or blah blah blah. It costs time and money. We don't want to do it, but trust me, you have a proper conviction, Mr. Badaloo. That's a proper answer. But all the bullshit, we're not here to talk about that. You were here, weren't you? You aware you were convicted? I said, I don't know. I don't remember being convicted, Your Honor. Do you? You know? So this is the bullshit. So anyway, the beautiful thing about all this when I fill their forms, because you know there is always something good in things, isn't it, Caroline?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm a complete optimist. I always think you fill this bloody forms out, and they ask you about housing and all these other things and debt.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell them that I've got a couple of false debts, because they do follow up. From my time in prison, they do follow up. So I told them that I had an illegal eviction, and it's affecting my housing and shelter, and under Protection from Eviction and Harassment Act 1977, I need assistance because I had an illegal eviction. So I have a feeling somebody will come out the woodwork, because this is now very important paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah? So I have a feeling, because when I was locked up and I told them the bank claimed false money from me and all that, yeah? And they wrote to the bank for disclosure. And the bank hasn't disclosed, and they followed up. And they wrote to the Inland Revenue, who, as soon as I went in jail, false imprisonment, kidnapping, I had a letter in jail from the revenue to say I owe tax. And also from the tax credit to say I owe tax credit. So I showed them in there, that department, and they immediately write to them, and they're not getting any credible response. And they have been following up till today. Up to last week, I have a letter, a copy, and they send me a copy of the letter. Yeah? So,
Yeah.
wonderful. I can say they've now got this problem. The prison is chasing them for disclosure. How good is that?
You've got to love the bureaucrats.
But at the end of the day, there's something good in everything. And if these people now get involved with me about the debt and the housing, I put, they have to chase up. I've been illegally evicted and end up with a false conviction or a pretend conviction or nothing. I want you to follow this up and get my home back with my roof over my head, please.
Yeah.
And they have a budget and resources and blah blah blah. So you see that case we won yesterday in the court. It's a big case because apparently the head of the High Court sheriffs was there.
Really? What, in court yesterday morning?
Yeah, he was interested because you know what, they're doing a lot of the illegal evictions. These so-called High Court sheriffs.
High Court enforcement.
No, sheriffs. High Court
Oh,
enforcement they're scammers. They're not High
They're a
Court
private
sheriff.
company.
Yeah, they just have that name and they pretend they're cowboys. But the proper sheriff outfit, they're doing some stuff as well, which is not within the law, shall we say. And shall we just say it's out of ignorance. They don't know the law properly. It's not that they're criminal cowboys. We don't use that kind of parliamentary language here. We're all English gentlemen. Okay?